Last regular season home game, this last home game that we have for guys like Jake Mullinich and Fuzak and some of these guys that are playing their last home game here at UB. Some of these guys that have really built up the program to a strong position, and just putting these guys off the field and sending them out of here walking off the field the right way. Outside of just competing our butt off and wanting to win this game and needing to win this game, the added sentiment of guys that we want to see walk off the field as a winner is a big point for us this week. And then just getting ourselves to our fifth win and continue to battle our butt to fight for our bowl eligibility and get ourselves into postseason play. There's been a sense of urgency since day one. We have a sense of urgency every single day that we walk in the building. Our expectations remain extremely high. And to answer your question, yes, but that sense of urgency has remained there. It's been there since we were hired back in May, just to improve, to build on where things are, build on the overall development and growth of the individuals in the locker room and the program, and to continue to climb and raise the level of this program.
You bring up those older guys like Jake, the Jakes, Jake Fuzak, Jake Mullinich. How have they impressed upon the younger players a sense of urgency that we have to win out?
I think how they carry themselves every single day. Mullinich is a guy that just does it right every single day. He strains, he works, he's committed. He's a guy that he's just a model guy that just is a guy that works his butt off, and he's a product of work ethic and toughness and discipline and determination. And if you're a young guy that's really going through one of your first seasons or your first season, and you see how he's carried himself just from the small part that they've been with him, it's just a great model and an example of the way to do it, the right way to do it.
Coach, have you had to change or adjust sort of your messaging to the team as the season has evolved now to the point that you are with these last two? How have you had to adapt and change?
Yeah, I think anytime as a leader, you're always evaluating, what's the big picture vision, what's the short-term goal, and what's the current status of, where things are at, and how are you guiding, not just a group of young men, but coaching staff, support staff, a community that's around us. How do we guide everybody through a season? And I think consistency is the key. I think persistence and determination and really a long-term vision that's tied to a bigger picture purpose, and then being able to have enough conviction, even through adversity, to carry yourself and behave like champions long before you're a champion. So I think consistency is the key, and then you're always looking at what's right in front of you. You have new guys emerge. You have sometimes guys that go down. You have guys that are having their first reps. You have guys that haven't played a lot before, and now they're playing bigger roles. You got a guy like Dylan McDuffie that had a smaller role last year that's has a chance to be a 1,000-yard rusher for us this year, and then like Keon Williams, who has a chance to be a 1,000-yard receiver for us. And then you're cultivating a message to get a team to play their best when their best is needed every single week.
One of those guys that a little bit under the radar, and now he finds himself among the MAC leaders in sacks, is Damon Williams. Can you talk a little bit about maybe he may have come out of nowhere for some of us, but talk a little bit about the evolution of his career?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we take the job back in May, and we immediately attack recruiting and player personnel and evaluation and what are our immediate needs. Defensive tackle and defensive line was an immediate need for us. So we start getting on the phone and making the connections and the phone calls that we need. Damon emerged just through some connections that we had previously from coaches back in Texas, and then we had to fight our butt off to recruit and get him here. He had multiple Group of 5 offers from the state of Texas. He turned down multiple Group of 5 offers from the state of Texas, and visited us here up at UB. Loved the culture, loved the coaching staff, and what we had for him and his vision of him of what he could be with us here at Buffalo, and he chose Buffalo. He chose as UB, and he's done nothing but work his butt off every single week. He's a guy that we're going to continue to build around and build upon as a guy that can really anchor a D-line for us and play well and play at a high level. And he's been doing that, and I think he's still just scratching the surface of who he is and what he can become, because we just hadn't been with him very long. 4 months to be with a player is not very long. So we're excited about his future. We're excited about everything that he's doing, and some other guys around him that are young. And right now we're straining our butt off and fighting our butt off every single week to be 1-0 and win this game.
Defense has been an issue the last 2 weeks. Give up 263 against Bowling Green, 351 against Miami. What needs to change? What adjustments need to be made to prepare for the final 2 weeks of the regular season?
Yeah, I think you just fundamentals and being disciplined. Eye discipline is always key. Being able to leverage routes, communicate when you're in a pattern match. The pre-snap communication, the post-snap communication that's there. Being able to stay on top of the ball. You got to win on the vertical throw game and stay on top of post routes. And so much of defensive back is a mentality. It's fundamentals, it's technique, but it's also that inner competition that a player has to deny their man the ball. Ultimately, the role of a defensive back is to stay connected, to leverage routes, to win their one-on-one battle, and do it at a consistent high level. So we're going to continue to coach the details, coach the fundamentals and the technique. All the pre-snap communication and then post-snap technique and effort that's involved with the play, and continue to pour into the guys in the locker room to improve and make those guys better.
We got a chance to see for the first time a little bit of Javon Claude play.
Yeah.
Because of injuries. I know he's a guy that people were excited about when he came in here. Can you kind of assess his being thrown in there performance from the other night?
Yeah, we last few weeks, probably over the last course of the month in practice, he's a guy that has been consistent with his work ethic, and he's caught our attention just through practice reps, through scout team reps, and then really kind of in an NFL mindset, kind of got activated with us in terms of like, say, let's bring him over to the travel squad. Let's see what he can do. Let's start working him in some situational football. And the more that we've given him, the more he's been able to handle. So his role has increased. You look at a young player, how do you increase your role? Number one, you have to show and prove your abilities and your worth in practice. I think everything begins in practice, and how you handle yourself, whether it's 5 reps or 20 reps, what do you do in practice to prove that, coach, I can handle some things that you're going to throw at me. And then you give a guy some game experience, some game reps, and see what he does, and you handle those game reps the right way, and then your role can increase and grow. So Jabron has done that. It's been a kind of a maturation process throughout the season, of starting on scout team to getting himself to special teams, to travel squad, to actually taking game reps, and we're going to just continue to build on and see how much more we can move his needle throughout the course of this regular season and postseason.
Matt Myers, will we be seeing more of him over the next 2 weeks, or does that depend on Kyle's health?
Yeah, I mean, Matt's always ready. Matt's just proud of his consistency and his mental approach to be ready every single week. Kyle's going to be a game time decision, and he's going to work in this week and see how he does, and Matt will both be ready to go. Matt will be ready to go as well.
What's impressed you most about Northern Illinois?
I just think you look at you look at where they were last year, and you look at where they are this year, and for a program to really go winless and go from 0-6 to now trying to position themselves to win the west side of our conference, I think it says a lot about the players in that locker room and the job that the coaching staff has done over there. They play extremely physical up front. I think they have a really strong running game, and their quarterback is efficient. He's extremely efficient. We're sitting there watching the game when they were playing Ball State the other night. It was our through the course of how our games lined up, we had the off night, and you just saw their offense make plays over and over again. You saw their defensive line set the edge, attacking front, linebackers plug and fill, and the DBs played competitive as heck, and then they were clean and sound on special teams. So they have our attention. We respect really their maturation and what they've done over the last course of the year, from going winless to now being to competing in the West Division to win the conference title. And it's a great testament of what people can do when you collectively get guys in the locker room together and get everybody working towards the same goal. I think they've done that.